guys, how you doing? We are back. How are you, Elsa?
I'm really good.
Good.
Yep, nothing new.
Nothing new. Come on, tell me the peak. Like, what is the best thing that happened this week? Avoiding people. That was the best thing. You managed to avoid them.
You know what? I've been hanging out with my friends every single day, and there's just been such random funny stuff, but I've just been keeping to myself, really.
Good.
It's been really refreshing. I'm gonna go back to the streets, and I decided it's
back
been
to the streets.
Yeah, it's been 8 weeks for me. I counted. The last time I had sex was 8 weeks ago. That's a very long time for me. I usually I just love sex. So, but it's been 8 weeks, and I was like, I'm not gonna let it go to the extreme to where, no offense, sorry, where it's hard for me to get back in the game.
Oh, she's making fun of me.
Sorry. That's why I said sorry. I see people struggling getting back in, so I was like, I don't want myself to get too far.
No, you're
I just
right
don't
for
want to
that.
fuck anybody. It's really.
You are right for that. And we have Mario Adrion with us.
Mamma mia. How's it going? What's up?
He's a former fashion model, YouTuber, and comedian. You might know Mario from his recent catwalk with Katy Perry on American Idol, or you might be one of his gajillion followers on Instagram or TikTok.
Thank you. What an intro. I love that.
Which platform do you like more? TikTok? I have to ask because everybody
YouTube,
obsessed.
I would say.
Oh wow,
YouTube's my favorite. I started on YouTube. It's the only platform that pays money too.
Okay.
And they're not so like, they're not such little weasels. I had a post on Instagram where I made a post like saying Americans are weak. So I had myself, maybe you put it here or something. It's like a post where basically when the hurricane was happening in LA and it was raining, I posted like how Germans react to the weather. And it was me in a Speedo, drinking a beer. And then Americans, I was putting on a jacket and, acting all cold. And all I said was Americans are weak. And the post was deleted from Instagram and TikTok for hate speech towards
so
certain
sensitive.
demographic.
I've had my Instagram deleted like 12 times. It's a
12
constant
times?
and for no
For, like,
reason.
sexual?
No, actually I actually very
She's
I'm very strict. Like there's been times where it even is the slightest like I'm like I won't do it. I won't risk it. Like I won't even really post myself in a thong. Like I will
not
post
even
myself
thongs.
in
God
lingerie,
yeah.
but I've been deleted for thong pics.
She gets it worse than anyone else because they have I reckon they have some sort of thing.
I spend the money that I've spent bringing my Instagram back has probably been $50,000. I have to pay somebody $10,000 each time to go behind Instagram's back, get my account back,
and
they just pocket it. They just, and I swear people purposely, once you start paying people to bring it back, they purposely take it down again. So then you just have to keep going back to the person.
Know that you're loaded
and
enough to keep paying.
And they work for Instagram. That's my little theory in my head.
This is the conspiracy theory. Let's go.
Not the people that have helped us, but I think in the past have opened up.
IG mafia.
And haters, people's girlfriends. Being
That's what I mean.
Don't follow her, report.
But I think as long as you, as soon as you have an OnlyFans, do something, related to sex work or something like that, they know that. And I think then you're kind of blacklisted and they're
shadow banned, all types of stuff.
Every time I get a notification, like when my Instagram doesn't load, whether it's for I didn't have service here, I opened my Instagram and it didn't load at first. I was like, I had PTSD from the notification of your account's been disabled.
I go to Twitter and I look and see Instagram down, and if it pops up as a recent thing, and then everybody's like, is Instagram down? Because me too, I have PTSD. I'm like,
it's interesting you say that about YouTube. So you might be right about that because you know what, our YouTube with the promos and stuff we put on there, our Instagram was deleted
with the promos.
The promos that we do, this is very sexual. We're talking sexual. We didn't even used to bleep some words. Our YouTube has been fine, but Instagram totally removed the account, not to be salvaged ever again.
Yeah.
So that one's down, your podcast account on Instagram?
Yeah, but we started it again a month and a half ago. We already have over 7,000 followers in a
Let's
month.
go.
Yeah. So they came back.
It's hard. Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. But yes, interesting. So what's your highlight and the low light of the week?
Let's see. I mean, the low light, probably the war, that's like a pretty highlights. I just came back from New York and I have a show.
Did you kill it at the show?
Yes. I love New York so much.
They love comedy.
For comedy, it's so much better. Also, I'm German, so I love efficiency. I feel like New York is so much more efficient because every day I just do 20 things in a day. And then LA, it's almost like I came here to Bel Air. It's beautiful, but that's the only thing I'll do all day.
Yeah, it's the driving, and then the people don't want to get up.
In New York, I just feel like, you look outside at 5 p.m. People are just hustling and grinding and doing cocaine. I just feel like, I gotta do more. LA
You're
people
so right about that, though, because even if it's the slightest bit of rain or a cloud, and people are like, "Oh, I won't be able to come out today," I'm like, "Why? I'm made of sugar."
Yeah.
It's just any excuse to be lazy here. That's really what it is.
Or have you tried calling people before 10 a.m.? No.
I say before 12.
Yeah, it's like no breakfast places open till 11. I'm like, wait, that's lunchtime.
And then things shut down at and also I grew up, I'm from Germany, right? So I lived in Berlin and stuff. And even every, food place in LA, like after 9 p.m. it's going to be rough. 10 p.m. it's usually game over.
What do you like better, here or?
So the thing is, I think LA is much more livable. The quality of life is better. I mean, obviously the weather is incredible. Price-wise, it's much cheaper. Because the place I have now, it's in West Hollywood, a 3-bedroom.
You said it's cheaper?
It is cheaper here than New York.
Oh yes, of course.
100%. Yeah. So that's what I like about LA. I'm more relaxed here, but I'm such a high energy person, and I love working a lot, and I love being in the flow. I think I love New York. I like New York better for everything, but LA is just more livable. I couldn't do one full time, I think. So what I do right now, I live in LA. But then every month I go to New York for 1 week.
I used to do that.
So I
did the same thing.
Yeah.
I love New York. I absolutely love it. I think it's the greatest city. Like I could probably live there my whole entire life. I really genuinely love it there.
So you feel more productive there too?
I just feel more productive.
Yeah.
I mean, people are up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm having breakfast at 8 a.m. with my friends, and we go and have like drinks or whatever, and then it's lunchtime. It's just, there's always something for me to do. I like going into a place and I don't know who I'm going to sit next to. It could be a billionaire. It could be a homeless person. You just don't know. I feel like here you have to be in certain areas, and it's just so almost cliquey here.
It is
and
more
just
cliquey. You're right, 100%.
Don't hang out with her. She hangs out with so and so. That doesn't really exist in New York because it's just everybody's just
more
hustling,
accessible.
and also like they're just focused on trying to pay their rent because it is so expensive. People don't have time to, indulge in drama.
More real too, but we're all here, so there's a reason for it. Yeah.
I love it here
also,
too.
I just got
sometimes.
engaged. I have a place here. It's very chill.
Congratulations!
I have a dog.
Wow.
All this stuff is,
And is she from here?
She's from Chicago. Yeah.
So she's happy to be here.
She's happy to be here. No, she's been here for 10 years. She's been here for 10 years in LA. We met here. But my goal is to get a place in New York. I want to once I can afford it, just to buy a place there. I want to.
Oh, you're to buy one.
Coastal though.
Why not a condo or something, huh?
Why not have the best of both worlds? Buy coastal. Why do we have to live in one place? Because then you miss that little bit of New York, but then you miss having the space.
Yeah.
I think so too, because there's never a perfect place. I go back to Germany twice a year, and I'm just in my small hometown.
Yeah, and so you like the U.S. or Germany?
So that's the thing. I think Germany is a similar thing as like LA and New York. I think for quality of life, if you want to have a regular job, if you want to work, go to college, and just work and raise a family, I think Europe is way better than the US. No tuition fees, free healthcare. It's so much more livable. It's so much easier, less stressful. But if you want to do anything outside the box, anything entrepreneurial or in entertainment, you have to be here. And that's why I'm here. If it weren't for stand-up comedy and YouTube and all that, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
I love the quality of life in Europe. I love it so. The food is better in my opinion.
I agree. I love Europe.
The nightlife is better. I like techno music, and I can't. I'm not a big fan of
hip hop.
I'm in love with the cocoa and people like writing each other. I like deep, hot German techno. Yeah. That's what I need. I need no lyrics. I just need deep. That's what
I like that too. And if I go out, I want it to be music like that.
Really?
I don't want it to be like. Yeah, no, of course. If I'm going to be at a club, I want it to be techno music. I don't want it to be like, recently when I've gone to like places, it's like, seems like slower hip hop kind of stuff, which I don't mind that either. I actually really like that.
Chill,
but if I'm at a club and I'm trying to stay up till 2, 3, I do need the music to be like.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you on ecstasy when this happens?
Well, depending, right? I don't do a lot of drugs. But yeah. I mean, I like microdosing on acid, just like a little bit.
Wow, I never heard of someone microdosing acid.
Microdosing is the best. I love it. It's just a little because
I've never done acid.
I'm naturally
I've never
a very energetic
microdosed
person.
Acid.
Have you taken acid before?
A long time ago. It wasn't very good though. Like what I had, because I didn't have the experience everyone else is having.
What did you have?
Well, it just wasn't that trippy. Like, things look weird for like a second, but like it wasn't like anything that I haven't had on like mushrooms or whatever. Like,
It's similar to. I just think it's a cleaner version. It connects me with my emotions. I'm less filtered, so I love that. Yeah. But I'm very
I
high energy
microdose
person.
shrooms.
I get that from
I like
MDMA.
microdosing shrooms.
That's true too.
MDMA.
But there's no
Yeah.
hangover with
That's Molly,
acid.
right?
It's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
like-
I see. I refuse to do Molly with a significant other now because I feel like I have this theory on Molly that it makes you fall so madly in love with the person.
No, they do.
If you
No, that's
already
true.
like them,
There's
you
couples
already
therapy
want
with-
to.
Yes.
If you're already in love with them, I'm never allowing myself to do
Yes.
Molly because it takes it to such a
Or you
different
say all
level.
this shit and you're like,
it makes me like I'll be like, no, I really love you, like, and then I can't come back from it. And I remember that feeling, so I won't do it.
They're
with
doing
it.
therapy now with couples and giving them. It's even
Literally,
approved.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It is.
it's legal now,
Yeah, I
and they're
read an
doing
article.
these like
I
therapy
say don't
sessions
do it.
on-
I say don't do
So
it.
you're
It just
afraid
makes
of
me
getting
fall.
too. Maybe it's
It
something you
just-
can talk to your therapist about. So you're afraid of getting too close to somebody.
No, I just feel like it makes your emotions to such a deep level. It's really
Got it.
hard to get that with somebody else unless
it's
you're
hard
gonna
to kick
do
them out of your
Molly
life
again
once you
with
meet them
them. Like
anymore.
it brings it to so. What'd you say?
No, I'm kidding.
Now
I was
on
joking.
MDMA, I've said like, okay, my version of that is like I'll say all this stuff and then I don't mean it the next day. I'm like, oh, gross! I can't believe I told them I loved them, and they're like, I was like, fucking.
Or you did mean it, but you just weren't able to express that in your sober state.
I think
maybe
my-
it came from
Or
your
did-
heart.
oh,
from your
yeah,
balls,
maybe-
You know?
Well, then
Maybe-
sober me was like, get me back there, or else I can't be around them because I just don't feel that way. Like,
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
yeah. And then you just like said too much. Like you're just like, oh, I think that we could like, and you make all these plans. I mean, I'm like that on everything.
yeah.
Some of my best nights were when I did Molly.
Yeah, no, it's really fun.
Really?
And do you know what? That's what you got to take it as. Everyone the next day needs to just have that blanket rule that we're not actually following through with that vacation we're taking.
You just get too crazy. Like
You're
you
like
just.
Molly plans.
Yes, exactly. Or like, we're
Everybody's
not
gotta
really
have a
in
sit
love.
down and
You're
like, nobody said anything right the night before.
That's my kink though. Like, okay, we're gonna be in love for the night, and we're totally gonna like.
I love doing that.
be
I
like,
used to
I
do
love
that.
you, you love me. We're in love, but just for tonight. So tomorrow, the same rules don't apply. We just need to remember that in case maybe we do fall in love, but it's probably not gonna be that. But I enjoy
sounds
that. 'cause
really-
it's really nice to just
That
be
sounds
in a
really
moment.
delusional.
48 hours, or like
Yeah.
let's say a little
It's
bit
cool.
longer.
No repercussions. It's almost like
Yeah.
you escape into a different.
And then you come down in a corner by yourself. No one look at me. No.
Yeah.
Have you
yeah.
guys ever dated somebody like you met them that day and then you never like separated from them? Since-
Yes.
Like, have you ever dated? You like, went to somebody's place, you found somebody you really liked, and then you guys just hung out every day. Didn't?
Yeah.
Like, I've done
When
all
you're
of my
not really-
relationships that I've actually turned into relationships. I met them, and then we just never separated.
Oh yeah, from the get go. So like kind of love at first sight type of thing.
And
where
then
you
just
immediately felt a connection.
stayed together.
Cool. No, it's actually for me. It's the opposite with my girlfriend or fiance now.
It took a while.
It took a while. So like at first I was intrigued by her, but the love for her didn't grow until like I got to know her a lot.
Nice. That's really
That's nice.
good.
That's going to be long term.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is why you
That's
proposed
really
to her,
good.
right?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
And she
yeah.
said yes.
Do you guys
Okay,
have
we-
an age difference, or you?
We do. She's 5 years older.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna say she sounds like she's older only because it sounds like the way you're speaking about her that you really like took your time.
I did. Yeah. And it was
That's
also. I
good.
mean, I can be honest. Like I didn't have a lot of relationships before. She was actually my first actual girlfriend. I would say.
Really?
Yeah. Because before, so the thing is, I was modeling when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and I was traveling every 3 months. I was going to a different country for modeling. So I would go to like Milan, New York, Asia sometimes. So it's hard to have relationships when you move on so much. And then one time I was in New York and I fell in love with this Argentinian girl. So hard. Never. That was what you're describing.
Yeah.
Met her. That was exactly. Actually, that's a good point. I met her one night and we had such a connection. I saw her the next day, and then for like 3 weeks we were so freaking in love, and it was so overwhelming. I'd never felt this way before. And then out of nowhere, she basically broke my heart because she
What
said
happened?
that she was catching feelings too much. She came out of a long distance
Term.
long-term relationship before that. So she was like, no, I'm falling in love too much with you and I'm moving on. You're leaving New York again, so we need to end it. And it broke my heart.
Wow.
So then for 5 years, I didn't date anybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so
And I
sorry.
didn't even
That's
have, you say it's 8 weeks, no sex? I had
Yeah.
no sex for like a year and a half.
yeah.
No,
you just
she
didn't.
really
you just
did a
didn't.
number on
Yeah.
You
you.
just couldn't do it. Yeah. That makes sense. A lot of people like it just takes time to
Yeah.
want to.
Well, why would
be
you want to get
intimate.
back into it and run
Scary.
the risk of liking someone
exactly,
again?
right? Then I was like, no, I'd rather just do my own thing,
3
work
weeks is
hard,
not even
you
a long
know?
time. That's like you
Yeah.
guys could have spent so much more time together. I could see like after 6 months her being like, okay, this has been like you know, but 3
Something
weeks
else
is
was
not
going on
enough
with her.
time. You
Right?
guys
But it was
deserve-
very intense. Like, it was like,
Yeah.
I remember she wrote me a poem and we just lay in bed for 3 hours and we'd be like, we can't touch each other. We're just going to look into each other's eyes. And we just did that for like
Wow, that
3
is so
hours.
nice.
And it was like such
And you
a
guys weren't on
challenge.
drugs?
No,
Wow.
no. Fully sober, but it sounds like we're on Molly.
Wow.
We had the Molly
Yeah, it does
experience.
kinda-
Imagine we'd done Molly, we would have fucking exploded.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying you got to be careful. You would have like really
exactly.
been
So
hurt.
I see what you mean, yeah.
You would have really been hurt.
That's
Yeah.
a beautiful
takes-
romance. For how many weeks was it?
3 weeks or so.
Yeah, so 3 weeks
something
of a
like
beautiful
that.
romance. I mean, it was taken from you, which is gut wrenching.
Yeah.
But like in that moment, would
Sounds
have
like
you?
she died.
She is dead now to us because she broke your heart. But
Yeah.
do you think you would have done it again over if you knew, like, okay, you know she's going to break up with you in 3 weeks and you're going to feel
Yeah,
that hard? You
for
still would
sure.
have done it.
Yeah.
So there you go. What a beautiful moment
Yeah,
to share
yeah,
with
yeah.
someone for 3
Yeah.
weeks. There's something else going on there with her, though. I don't believe her story. I think there was something a little bit like, you know,
He has
just.
a fiance now. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I know. We don't give a shit about. She's dead. She died. Actually, it's really sad.
Yeah, but sometimes also I've had this before. I had one romance with this girl in New York, and it was like the perfect thing again. It was like 4 days of like I made a YouTube video and I met her with my best friend, and he was actually dating her older sister. It was a whole thing. Everything was perfect, like out of a movie. We watched the sunrise, watching the Empire State Building from Lower East Side. Everything was perfect.
You like to get really romantic, huh?
It was beautiful. Like I love these, and I'm so grateful for these
The
moments.
European in him. That's
Yeah.
why
Maybe
guys
that's-
aren't like
maybe
that
that's it.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
No, they
Yes,
don't.
I
do.
know. This is
Europeans really
dreamy.
love to be romantic. They seriously do.
Yes.
Germans usually don't, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
almost
Well, my
French. I'm
German
at the
is so
French border, so
romantic.
Shut up. You've had
He's
an
so-
experience with a German
He's
recently.
so
Oh, yeah?
romantic.
Yeah.
interesting. Maybe the ones that come here, because Germans are known to be much more like, you know, we don't show our emotions. We are
Maybe
like
the-
to Terminator, yeah. We will-
The ones that get out, though, maybe they have.
ones that get out of
they're
it.
missing
The
a
ones that leave the regime.
they're
They, yeah.
missing a chromosome. They're actually like, and
It's true.
they're like, I should go to LA. Those are the romantic ones because this is
Agree.
nice.
Most people who travel, like if you see
yeah.
French people who travel, they're different than French people in France, right?
Yeah.
Same in America, though. Americans who travel are different than the ones who stay in
the people that have
Idaho their whole
wanderlust
life.
are a little bit more curious and
Absolutely, yeah.
they're seekers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit more open-minded. Yeah, but I was going to say with this other girl, it was so perfect. But then I had this perfect vision, this perfect like 5-day romance. But then I met up with her again. And sometimes it's good to have it be just one fantasy that's like a perfect fairy tale.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to recreate that. Because when I saw her again, we both were expecting the same level of magic, right?
All right.
But then it just wasn't the case because the circumstances were different. All of a sudden, it was November in New York. It was not, you know, it was kind of
Yes.
cold, and I don't know. It was so awkward. I remember that.
you
and I was
shouldn't have
kinda-
gone back to
wow.
read that same book. You already read it.
Exactly.
And
Well,
And,
at least it was
yeah.
awkward for you and not a heartbreak.
No, it was fine. We just we didn't even kiss or something. It was just like, okay, yeah.
you're like, this is so awkward. Get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It was fine though. It was fine, and I'm so grateful still for those because those 5 days with her were fucking magical. And that's why I'm look back in my life for
yeah.
the moments I'm grateful for. Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I just like harbored this perfect fantasy.
Yeah.
But it's never as good as, you know, in your imagination,
Yeah.
especially if it's the one that got away type of thing, you know?
Yes.
It's never as good
I
in
often
real
think
life
that
as-
there's someone that's always the one that got away for me, like, and we toy with like messaging every now and then, but I'm like, if this person actually didn't get away though, I probably would run a mile.
Yeah.
It's just in my mind, I'm making it something really interesting.
This is the theory on it, is that's, you know, this is where my witchy stuff comes
Tell
in.
me, you witch.
But the soul ties, right?
Soul
I
ties.
hired this lady to cut soul ties for me. And if you keep thinking about somebody, you're like,
Ah.
why, but we can't be together, but I still like the one that got away. They say that that's a soul tie. So if you hire a witch to cut
Wow.
the soul ties, it works. It works.
And what
It
do they
works,
do? Is it a
works,
ritual?
It works. No, they don't do anything.
Do you have, is it like a voodoo doll you burn or something?
No, but I did it and it really works. I
Okay.
genuinely
I think
it
energies
almost
are
blocks-
connected.
Was
So
it
this
somebody
almost-
you did Molly with and then you needed the
Yeah.
voodoo person to like cut ties?
And
Yeah.
it blocked, and they literally like if I try to think about the person, it's like there's like something that's blocking my brain where I can't get a memory or something, and like every memory about this person seems very far like distant, even
I
though it's
believe
not.
that mixture between like soul tie, as in like our energies are connected,
You can
and
have
maybe you
positive
attach
and
to
negative
someone.
ones,
Yeah.
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 But that's what
Interesting.
some people. The
I'm fans of
theory is-
witches. I love witches. Put
Yeah.
anything,
I mean,
okay, any
that's
show,
very
put a witch in it. I used to say that to my ex. He produced movies, and I'm like, just put a witch in it. I fucking love witches.
Did you
That was
see
my,
Star
like, running
Wars,
thing.
the new Ahsoka series?
Is there a witch in it?
There's a witch in it
Oh,
now.
yes, I'm gonna
Star
see
Wars
that.
has witches now.
Ah.
Fucking nuts.
Wow.
I really do though. I used to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Loved her.
I did a show with what's her name?
Melissa
Carolyn Rhea?
Joan Hart?
Carolyn Ray? No, what's her name?
The aunt.
No, the Sabrina.
Oh, Sabrina
The
is
blonde comedian. What's her? No. Ray.
the old one.
The actor.
No, it was
Maybe it's not
Melissa.
Sabrina.
It was Melissa Joan Hart, and then Rhea is the aunt. One of the
that's
aunt
the aunt?
witches.
Yeah, I did a stand-up show with her. She's a comedian. She's so funny. Yeah. But I didn't even know. The funny thing is, as a German, they give me all these credits of people, and I was hosting a show. It was at the Soho House, and I brought her up, and it was like, and now coming up, you know, from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I don't know a lot of these movies because I grew up in Germany, you know, so. No, I didn't even know, but I looked it up after. So
People love Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Well, I am a teenage girl.
We
so-
only know David Hasselhoff in Germany. Fucking love that guy. He's a legend in Germany. Yeah, he's like the man.
He's a legend everywhere, I feel, and even in Australia.
Germans love him.
Yeah.
Wait, are you Australian?
Yeah.
So you're not Dutch, you're Australian.
No, I'm the first one to be born in Australia. So I was
That's
born in
why.
Australia, but they came at 16. My parents came over.
See the accent, now I can hear it. Because
yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was like a gay accent or Australian.
It's a little of both.
It's both. It's both.
No, so here's the thing.
Did you hear that somebody, I don't know if this is true, but the anesthesiologist, when they put somebody who has a flamboyant, whatever, sleep, when they wake back up, they don't have
And they're like,
that.
what the
They're not
fuck,
speaking.
motherfucker?
They're not speaking like that, and that's why the theory is that it's fake.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wait,
I
you
would
mean-
love to get rid of my lisp. It's a lisp.
Wait,
and
you
it's
think so gay guy?
lisp.
They're saying that the theory is when they're asleep and then they go to wake back up, they don't have that accent.
So do they hypnotize them out of
and then
it?
so that's why people are saying that it's
What, they start talking about
This
football?
is
That was so, bro.
groundbreaking.
Yeah, the Raiders last week.
yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Look it up. That's what
If
people
I knew
are
about
saying.
this, I would. Every guy would do that. We get cheese for our gay
Well,
boys.
no, it comes back once you're like, it's like when
Once
you're
you
first
get around another gay again, and you magnify that gay, and you're like, "Oh, we're back, honey."
Wait, but don't gay men actually? Do you, as a gay man, are you attracted to flamboyant gay men?
No, I'm not.
Do you like alpha straight dudes?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think most gay men would want to sound less gay?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah?
I think
Interesting.
I think most gay men would. Although now there's a lot more like, there's so much more variation since I've been around anyway as a gay.
Variations of gays?
Like no, because
Gay
like
diversity,
there's really flamboyant girly guys and it's so accepted now, and I think that's great. Like and they really love that. I don't think that you could take any of their femininity away from them, but I think for me generally growing up, like all the gay people, I'm just imagining that actually all the gay people want to not have the gay voice. Yeah, because you know what, we grew up in school all trying to talk less gay.
Got
like
it.
literally in
Got
my
it.
mind, I've always actually, especially that guy that got away because he was a football player and he's really masculine.
he was a
I
football
tried to.
Oh, do I know
would
who
have to
you're
remember
talking-
to talk really masculine around him and like curb, but I have like the gay lisp. It's a gay voice.
So
Who's the one that
interesting.
got away? The one that
Gay
had
voice.
the one that had the baby?
Oh yes, he had a baby now on his own. It's so dreamy. Oh,
So
I
wait, he's
love him.
straight-ish?
He wasn't. No, he was he was like the first footballer that played professionally to come out in Australia. Aboriginal as well, very
wow.
hot. Like, and we fucked, and it was. Well, I was sewing my head though, but we fucked a bunch of times. Okay, but like I ruined it because he was just so
Aw.
cool and everything I wanted to be, and then I think I
Everything I
projected that
wanted
because
to
I didn't
be. Oh,
have
no.
like that.
Yeah.
But I still to this day, I mean, chiseled. He was like an Aussie bum model, like up on the billboards,
Aussie
like
bum.
gorgeous.
Yeah, no, Aussie bum. Yeah, I work with them. Yeah.
Oh, get
Yeah.
away from him! He's mine.
God damn.
Wow. Get away
But that's like
from
the
it.
ultimate. Isn't that the
Anyone will fuck him,
ultimate?
even straight guys. This guy is. Okay, sorry.
What a shout out.
Wow. I
That's like the
never
ultimate
heard
gay
you talk
fantasy,
about
right?
somebody like
you even
it.
thought he was
Straight
hot. You're
dude.
like, oh,
Yeah,
that
of course.
smile.
He is really cute.
And I don't give a shit anymore. I hope he sees this because honestly, he
Why don't
knows
you
I'm a loser.
text him?
No, and we're still friends and we chat and
He
like
knows I'm a
maybe one
loser.
day like something will happen. But now he just had a baby on his own recently, and I was like,
Why don't you
that
help
is
with that baby?
So
Why don't
like
you-
him to have a baby on his own. That's so cute.
On his own, so
Yeah.
yeah, like a bit like a CEO
Must
was
have
carrying
it.
the baby.
Must
He
have-
didn't carry the baby.
No, but like
no.
with a woman, so he had his own.
Maybe had a
Yeah.
surrogate or
I
something.
don't know how
and
that
she-
went.
Oh
We
wait,
talked
so
to-
wait, is he straight now or gay now? What's happening?
Well, he has had sex with girls. All the girls want him to fuck them. Anyway,
Sure.
I think we're getting off topic here.
Okay, yeah.
Spill his tea on
Oh
them.
shit! I always
Yeah.
forget. So many people have been saying to me recently, "I can't believe what you talk about on that podcast." I'm like, oh, I need to go back and listen to some of these episodes.
I
What am I
know.
going
It's great, you know.
about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfiltered.
Unfiltered. Heartbreakers Hotline.
Yes,
Some of these
Oh my
questions. You want to go first, Elsie?
Yeah, I mistakenly made a comment about my girlfriend's hygiene more as a joke than anything, and it crushed her. Now, if we do have sex, she feels like she has to spend so much time getting ready, cleaning. You know, this happened to me. How do I properly apologize and tell her without taking it in the extreme direction? That happened to me. Somebody said something like really rude to me once.
About hygiene?
No, it wasn't about, it was about farting in my sleep.
Oh, farting is deep. Yeah, that's fine.
I love it when you talk about farts. It's my kink.
And I was so upset because it made an attack on
What
my
did they say?
hygiene.
How do they say it? That's the thing,
They
right?
like laughed at me and they were like, "Don't ever do that again." I was like, "I was sleeping."
They said, don't do that while you're asleep. I'm farting accidentally.
And I just took it to such
after they
the
fucked you,
extreme.
right? Like probably because like
and
that.
I took it to the extreme about
rude.
the whole like, you know, like it just made me like super scared to fart in front of people. Like I took it to
traumatized
each
you,
relationship after that. And then who doesn't fart in their sleep? So obviously it's happened with significant others after,
Yeah.
and I don't handle it the same way. But it was the very first one when I was 19. The guy said,
Early
Don't-
too. No,
I
that's a
know.
crime. That
And
should
it's
not-
so
yeah.
So you have
rude.
to
Like it's like
apologize.
we just had like sex, and then you're gonna actually like I've had that before, especially with anal. Like I mean, and I've actually that same guy. Sorry to just like no, but I leant
keep
over to
coming back
kiss
to
him
it.
once. No, it was the funniest thing though. I leant over to him and I went,
"Oh, you farted." That's right.
As I was leaning in for like a sexy kiss. So yes, I
What did
feel
he
you.
say?
No, he laughed and we laughed about it so much. I mean, we do sometimes talk in emojis where it's like the emoji of a man walking and then the fart behind him, like referring
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, but
Okay,
that's
so you
sweet.
can
That's not
laugh
like
it off.
accusing you. That's not like.
But
I
that
would
is
say
so
you have to
rude.
apologize.
This guy sounds
You have to
horrible.
apologize. I would never comment on a female's hygiene ever because we
Unless you never wanna get
we
laid
pride
again.
ourselves in that. You know what I mean? So I would actually just really sit her down and be like, "I really didn't mean what I said to you, and I'm really sorry."
Well, especially if it's not in your control, right? I mean, you can
Yeah.
control snoring is something you can't really control. Farting, you
Yeah.
can't control. But if it's something that bothers you, right? There's a way to bring it up. I think open communication is good. Like if something, for example, hygiene-wise, if there's something you'd like to have improved with the
Yeah.
hygiene of the partner, you can bring it up in a way that's not accusatory, and I think that's
We'll have sex
That's
in the
fair.
shower first.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
I've done
for
that.
sure.
Yeah. If, like, you know, like if sometimes, you know, you sweat and stuff like that. It's just like without saying it.
I mean, especially for gay men, that's a whole nother level, I feel like, right?
I hate the smell of balls.
Prepping and yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. I don't want to smell it. Don't even want to smell an armpit. But I'm balls. But they're saying it's more as like a joke. Just joke off limits, right?
Yeah,
Like,
just apologize. It's your
Yeah.
significant other. You know, gotta
Yeah.
make them feel wanted and.
Have you overcome that fear now, or are you still traumatized?
I'm still traumatized because, like I said, it happened a few times after in every
Okay.
relationship, you know, and then
And they've all complained
laughed.
about it?
They've all laughed
They all
at
laughed.
it.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
of course.
yeah.
No, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're just a
they've
farter,
all
it's cool,
laughed
you
about
know?
it.
Yeah.
So,
But now you've publicly
Now I'm
talked
gonna-
about this on a podcast, so maybe that helps
Yeah.
you just, you know.
well, now I understand. I'm always
That's
trying to
me.
make her fart in front of me. I'm like, just
Yes.
do one. And she's like,
I
you
won't do
sicko.
it.
Why do you
I
need
won't
me to
do
do
it.
that?
I'm
like,
really
please.
weird about it.
Just
I
do
seriously,
one.
Because I think this is great. It's empowering for other women, you know? Like other
Yeah.
attractive women that feel probably like, I think as a woman, there's a whole nother level of pressure of like how you can behave in society and how you always have to be like very, you know, pretty and you can, you know.
Okay, next question. I am gay 29 and I've heard that rimming is, to use the term of straights, the tits. But I'm terrified my butthole is smelly and gross. For some reason, anal sex doesn't seem weird to me. I'm a bottom, but having someone's mouth on my booty hole makes me self-conscious and terrified, but I want to try it. How can I approach this topic with my partner and find a way to chill the fuck out? I love that we have fans listening to this podcast with questions like this. This is so good.
yeah.
I love it.
So you answer it. What do you think you should
Listen,
do?
I'm terrified of it too. No, but like,
Hygiene anxiety, right? That's
no, because it is like a thing. You know, I've never really loved. So I've enjoyed someone eating my ass, but I have the same problem that this guy does. So I think that you're just gonna have to be really strategic about it, and also you don't have to love it. I did it because the other person really wanted to. I ended up enjoying it, but there's always a thing in the back of my head like, why are you eating my butthole? There's so many other things you can do. Like we have to now put tongues in butts, but it's a big thing for a lot of people. And there is a lot of nerve endings down there and it does feel good. So, and it also, other people really enjoy doing it. Oh my God, I'm having
So
a
what
flashback
should
to a
he
horrible...
do if he's nervous that it's
Stinky.
smelly and gross, I think he said.
Well, listen, if they want to go down there, they got to know what they're in for, okay? And
well,
I'll tell you, I've had an accident before, not just gay, but someone came up and they had a little something there, and then they wanted to kiss, and I was like, no, thank you.
Wow.
From your butt?
Yeah, from my butt.
So this is a great time to tell people if you do
about the
want
sponsor
to,
of this video.
if you do want to get your ass eaten, absolutely go and wash it first.
Yes.
If you are scared about it being smelly and gross,
Take notes, kids.
absolutely just be like, I gotta take a second and go and get in the shower. And I think that it's like, if you're gonna get your ass eaten, I think that you should stick like just a little bit of your fingers up there and really clean up in the inside, because most of the time people want to spread it.
And also like great, like if you're having a bad week where you haven't been so consistent with like how you're eating and like fiber and stuff, like I'll just know that there's no amount of cleaning that's going to make this like 100%. So like you don't
just for
have
ass
to.
eating, you don't need to clean, right?
Yeah, for the eating.
But do you douche? Because there's douching, right?
That's what I meant, douche. Sorry, you don't
douche. Yeah.
Do you douche if you're gonna get your ass eaten?
Yes, you should.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow,
Damn.
I don't.
Because people are putting their tongues up there, and things can happen while you're.
While you're.
I think you don't. I mean, as a courtesy to the person that's eating your asshole, but also.
That was the gayest thing.
So
the way you said asshole sounded so German to your asshole.
It feels good though, and you know what? People really like to just do it. Even like I was pretty bitchy about it. I was like, oh, fine, if you fucking must. I'm like, but this is for you, not me.
It's a necessity for me. And you have to.
They wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, it is. So anyway, it is. Being terrified is totally normal, but also it's all part of it. You know what? I had this guy once that was like, make sure it's like really clean, because if like anything happens, I get really turned off by that. I'm like, if you're gonna fuck my ass,
How are you gonna...
doesn't create.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice
it's part of it. Some people have been really cool. Something will happen, and it's like, oh, happens all the time.
Yeah.
Let's go wash, then come back and keep going. Like,
you gotta be a trooper for the love of the game. You know, if you're in there, be in there.
Yeah,
be in the trenches.
Or just don't take it out.
Yeah.
And you're eating a butthole. That's pretty much consenting to anything.
We're still just on eating.
Oh,
I thought we were about penetrating now, but
I mean, you gotta love it all and just get dirty and like.
But if you don't love it, don't force yourself, right? Because you're saying basically because other people love it, you might. It's me, like people. I don't smoke weed, but people love it so much. So every time I'm like, let me try it again, and then I'm like, I hate this.
You're right about that.
You know, I keep trying it. So, you know, same with ass eating. I don't like it, but, you know, I've been...
You're like, there's got to be something I'm missing.
I'm going to keep trying till I die. You know?
Like, I hate this. Everything's weird. I don't feel safe. Oh, try another one. Oh, no, see, you don't have to always, just because everybody else likes it.
Are you more nervous about getting your ass eaten or eating ass?
Oh, I will never eat someone's ass.
Okay.
Wait,
I never want to eat someone's ass.
You've never done it?
And I never will.
Wow.
I know that's well, because it's not what I want to do. I mean, I guess that's really bad actually, because like, what if they really wanted it? But at the end of the day, it also is a butthole. Okay, I don't want to put my tongue in there. I'll fuck it.
I just can't not.
Okay, you know, it's totally like there's different things.
Like it has. I can't have a boyfriend that doesn't like his ass eaten. He has to really be into his ass being eaten.
He has to be into it.
You can't just be like, yeah, fine, babe, eat my ass.
No, you gotta be into it.
You gotta really want your ass eaten. I don't like when. You know.
So do you make them prep too? Do you make them douche?
That's why I was like, obviously they have to, like, I've never had a guy not get in the shower, like, you know what I mean? Sure. And like make sure that they smell really good. I mean, well, that one guy, I remember that really hairy ass.
Oh yeah, and you're like, what the fuck? The guy that came over in New York, right? Oh.
And I was like, oh my god,
so hairy.
You
have to nair your. I just had a guy on my podcast. He did the nair video. You should have him on too. He'd be amazing. His name is Kevin Leonardo. A quick shout out. He made this video. It's got like 50 million views on YouTube called "Removing Butt Hairs Using Nair" because he's a gay guy.
I want to know that.
And he's a dude who's like, so he shows his butthole everything on YouTube, but it's not taken down because it's in an educational context. So he stands there with his cheeks spread into the camera. He's like, "Okay, guys, now you see here's a little bit. Put the nair cream now."
I love that.
Yeah, he's so sweet though. Such funny dude too. I had him on like 2 days ago on my podcast.
Wow.
And,
so that would actually be part of this question. Make sure you do that first too, because hair traps smell.
Subscribe to this guy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay, this guy says, just a weird question. I'm a 34-year-old man. Think about but have yet to see or experience someone's pussy being too small. We obsess over vaginas. Like, are there small penises? So there has to be small vaginas.
Huh.
Have you ever had?
So, yeah, that's interesting. He's asking have you ever experienced someone with too small of a vagina?
Well, listen, I luckily don't have that problem because I guess the tool I've been working with has never been too big for.
I've seen that in your videos. Actually, he makes a lot of fun of your.
Well, because I look like a douchebag, I kind of have to make fun of it. But yeah. No, I don't like the whole penis thing. I'm like, I think porn is perpetuating an unattainable beauty image. I always say 5 inches is enough.
Yeah, it actually is. They actually say that 5 inches is enough.
Yes, the guy said that's the
but also
average.
girth is more important, right? I just watched this show. I don't know if it's on Netflix, but it's called Naked Attraction. I watched one episode yesterday. The dating show where they're fully naked. Yeah. Do you guys know about this?
No.
You know
Naked
about
and
this?
Afraid? Oh, no.
Yo, it's literally like, it's a dating show where they have one girl and then it's like 6 dudes. And she basically has to choose and eliminate people just based on seeing them naked. So like, they're all standing in the tube. You can't see their faces. Then everything's really just.
Can
like
you see them hard, or they have to be?
They're pretty flaccid most of the time. Some of those dudes are fucking. I mean, holy shit, But also, if you go on that kind of show, you tend to be packing, I guess, right? But so basically, it's fully nude, and they're also saying that women usually care more about girth than length.
We just had a guy on that was talking about penis fillers. A lot of people are doing penis fillers.
Penis fillers?
Yes.
Yeah, like lip fillers. They're using the same product, I think. I know.
Yeah.
That sounds so scary. Multiple pokes into...
Well, especially also in the gland, because that is the most sensitive part of your body with the most nerve endings ever.
Not on the top. They can't do the head.
So
they
like
can
just
only do
around.
The shaft.
That's why they can't overfill it, because then you'll have a tiny little head and like...
That seems weird, like a little...
Yeah. It's like... a hot dog, really.
I would be supportive of
literally.
it.
Oh yeah, literally, like a hot dog with a little thing stick. Oh my god.
I would really be supportive of it. If I had a significant other that really wanted to do that, I'd be like, sure, like that sounds really great for the both of us.
Well, he said you don't lose sensitivity or anything like that, so why not? I mean,
aesthetically, I'm just wondering like how that. I don't know. Aesthetically, it just seems a little clunky,
But
clunky,
so he also
maybe if you
said
have a
that
very long
5
penis,
was
but not as girthy. But if you already have a girthy penis, it makes it probably look a little disproportionate.
Well, once you get in there, you're going to have all this girth there, and then the head's not going to be touching anything because you've already opened it up. Like, I'm just imagining.
Yeah. The head's going to be so low, and it's going to be, hello.
Hello. Where? It's like throwing a sausage down a hallway.
Exactly.
Because nothing, it's not touching the sides, because like the base of it is. Yeah. Okay, next question is, I'm 33, female, and I've been going to couples therapy with my 35-year-old boyfriend to try help our sex life improve. The topic of love languages came up, and when I said the one I'd like to receive was acts of service, my boyfriend said he considers sex to be an act of service. In his mind, this is how we can have sex more often, even though it isn't the kinds of acts of service I'm talking about. How do I talk to him about the fact that sex to me is a shared act of intimacy and not an act of service?
Like sex is physical touch. That would be the love language that he's confusing it with, because there's physical touch and sex would be physical touch. So she should actually come back with him and say, actually, acts of service is you doing a service.
She'd be like, it's not that great that it feels like an act of service.
Yeah, whoa now, what a cocky guy.
Yeah. He acts like if I let him fuck me more, he'd be doing me a big favor.
He wanted me to eat my ass, it's not even, he's not even committed.
I say, get rid of him. He sounds like a narcissist, actually.
Yeah, thinking it's that good. Either she's overselling it or he is just like really into himself. I believe that he's probably
said this.
Yeah.
I believe it. I would just remind him that that's...
Give him the book like that has all the love languages in there and be like, read this or we're never fucking again.
Acts of service is like somebody helping you with a chore or like running an errand for you or helping you like a service.
Because there's gifts too, right? That's a different one.
Gifts, right? Words of affirmation.
Yeah.
There's acts of service
and touch.
Physical touch.
I like words of affirmation.
And then what is it?
Quality time.
Quality time.
Yeah.
What's your one?
Mine is I want gifts. I like gifts.
That's
you just want.
Does that really make you like somebody though?
Guys, I like gifts. I like gifts.
Amazon.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. So it's weird. I have a weird relationship with touch a little bit. I mean, you can get into it. I was assaulted when I was younger by men. So when I was modeling, so it kind of fucked up my relationship a little bit with touch. But I think for me would be acts of service. For what I like to give, not
what you
sex.
like to give,
not sex. Yeah, no, what I like to give. It comes natural to me. Like with my fiance, for example, I love helping her with something, or I love cooking for her, for example. I don't know if that's because it could be gift, but I guess it's more of an act of service,
no, that's
right?
an act of service would be. Yeah. That's really good that that's how you, well, how do you like to receive love though? Is it the same?
It's a good question. Let me think.
You look like words of affirmation.
Yeah, you're a good boy.
Tell me I'm pretty.
Good boy.
Tell me I'm pretty.
You're so good.
No, you should take a test. There's a test that you could do online and it tells you. Yeah.
I should figure. It's probably changing too. I think I did that test. Like, it was a long time ago. I think it's changing. But you got words of affirmation, probably.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I like validation too. You know. So yeah.
I like that too. Or else I'll forget if I'm good.
Yeah.
I need other people to tell me. I'll be like, I don't know where I am today. Am I good? I don't know.
You're good. You're a good boy. You're a good boy.
Mine's words of affirmation too.
Yeah?
Or quality time. It's a tie.
Yeah,
so
right?
I like when somebody's with me.
How do you give?
Gifts. I'm a big gift.
Oh, you like gifts? Yeah.
That's how I really snatch people up. Is I'll
what kind of gifts? Like
just
expensive gifts or like thoughtful? Like
just I will pick up anything for anybody. Like I was just telling him I went on a date with a guy and I quick bought him a lottery ticket because I thought it'd be fun for us to do in the car. And he was like, that was the nicest thing that someone's ever done is like go into a gas station like thing. So if I'm somewhere and I see a bracelet or I see like a charm or something like that, a magnet that says something special that really I will definitely.
That's great. Yeah.
Creative gifts too. I will absolutely make. One time I got the number painting thing of like a photo of me and the person I was with, and you know the dots where you paint, and it'll be like one is blue, and then it was like
cool.
a
yeah.
So yeah, presents.
All about Mario. We're at that time, Mario. First things first, let's talk about American Idol audition. What made you decide to do it in a Speedo and challenge Katy Perry to a walk-off?
Well, so the American Idol audition, I did audition first in not a Speedo. I auditioned in I played this German character like with lederhosen or something. They didn't fuck with that, but actually one of the people in the casting room watched my YouTube videos and brought me back. And I talked to the guy before and I was like, you know what, I love Speedos. I want to make Speedos great again in America because I'm European. My dad wears Speedos. Literally.
Why do you love Speedos so much?
Because it's more aerodynamic. It looks better. I think it's way sexier too than like these American board shorts.
Yeah.
And I always had them. And I thought in America, it's very tied to being gay. And I want to encourage more straight men to wear Speedos.
So many guys in Australia.
When they wear short shorts and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
you want to be able to see it.
I would love to see men in Speedos.
Yeah. And I wear short shorts too. Like I wear like super to the gym and stuff. I wear like very short European soccer shorts. It's just like it feels better, you know?
Yeah, I think it looks better.
I'm down with the Speedos because of the material too, like that wetsuit material. And it's like, I mean, girls wear bikinis all the time and it looks better. Would you want a girl to wear shorts? Yeah, exactly.
Not really. No.
So you were just like, I love Speedos. Let me just wear one today.
You know, then I had this whole, because I'm a model. I used to be a model and stuff. So I showed up there in a Speedo because I thought it was also like a funny move. I had this whole character where I was like, I don't want to be a model anymore. I want people to take me seriously for my talents and not my looks. And then I show up in a Speedo. You know, that was like the whole joke, basically. But it's one of the most fun things in my life. I always love doing things that are out of the norm and out of my comfort zone.
Of course.
And I love being silly because what the fuck, you know? What's life about? And I love being, because I'm such a, I look like such a male model and stuff. And I've done that. And I was forced to be so serious my whole life when I was modeling. Because modeling's not very playful. It's very serious, blue steel, you know, you gotta be cool for like all these castings. So I just love doing something silly. And
that's good.
And then
funny
the whole
guys
thing
always win.
Yeah, right? I think silliness is everything. I just had a whole mushroom experience where the whole through line was also silliness. That's truly, for me, the purpose of my life is sharing silliness. And
that's good. We need more of that.
Yeah, we do.
Especially as men, I feel like sometimes. Specific type of men, you know? Like alpha male like myself.
No, well, I love that you blur the lines between I originally came across your videos because I was like, oh, this is fun. Like straight guys pretending to be a little bit gay. Like maybe they will. Because honestly, that is such a good, by the way, right on the nose. Like guy, well, one, it makes it okay. Like, you know what I mean? No one's hiding, being like, oh, don't be gay. That's so gay or whatever. Like, you're interviewing people on the street. You're getting to like where they are, all these guys, and like having fun with it and being like, oh, maybe we are a little gay. Maybe we're not. Like, that's because it just makes it more normal. I mean,
and I truly don't care. Like, I don't really like saying that I'm straight. I use it for like, because it's easier to like categorize people, but I don't like the label because it limits yourself. It limits you, you know? Like, I fell in love with a guy, like my best friend Travis.
Maybe pansexual.
Maybe, yeah. Sexually, I'm not very attracted to men, but maybe there's also, I don't fucking know, maybe it's also because of sexual trauma. I'm working on that, but I've definitely, my friend, I don't know if you know the videos with my friend Travis. He's my best friend, and he's gay. I'm sort of straight, so we had like the closest relationship.
Just a bond, maybe, too. Just like a really close bond. I mean, it's hard to...
Does it get weird if he's in love with you then? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's always can be a challenge, right? But we have such a beautiful relationship, and the intimacy we have, even like physically, we would cuddle sometimes. And I was in the beginning afraid of that because I was like, oh no, I'm straight, so I shouldn't cuddle with dudes. But it was so beautiful, regardless of the gender. We never had sex, but we had such an intimacy, much like women have, you know, with your best girlfriend, you can be a lot closer. And I want to kind of encourage men to be more open.
That's why women are so like as strong as a unit. It's because there is that level of like intimacy, if you want to call it, and guys should do that too.
Yeah, you can always make up with your best friend, and nobody says, "Oh, that's lesbian, bro." You know?
Yeah.
And then I show I teabag my best friend once, and all of a sudden it's a huge deal. You know? What the fuck? What the hell?
I love that.
So you and your girlfriend, if you were to sleep with a guy, would she consider that cheating?
Only if I didn't talk to her about it.
Okay, that's
you know,
good.
I think that's like the rule. I think cheating is when you I think I could easily, and she even has been like, she talked to me, she was like, Mario, if you want to hook up with a guy, I'd support that, right?
Yeah.
But obviously I wouldn't just go to Santa Monica Boulevard and, you know, hook up with a guy behind a dumpster. You know what I mean?
Of course,
I would call her, and then I would go behind a dumpster.
Yeah. That's good that you guys have that. Like, that's really rare to be able to go to your partner and be like, I find, you know, both sexes attractive.
Yeah.
And to be open is like, it's really refreshing to hear, because we try to support those things. I mean, you know, I think that people can just sleep with whoever.
Yeah.
You know,
she's bisexual.
Well,
too,
Elsa,
so.
you always say she's like, everyone's a little gay, and like even with like sports players and certain people that she'll know and be like, everyone like wants.
I just don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, but I also am so like, it's my age group. We all have sex with each other. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what,
especially in LA, especially women though.
Yeah.
I think all women are pansexual now.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, there's so many times that I've just been drunk and me and my friends have sex, and it's just a normal like routine, especially with
it's a routine.
It's like it's just if we're all single too, and we're just drunk and whatever, might eat each other out in the shower.
Sure.
Yeah.
100%.
While we're down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to clean it first.
Yeah. Send me an invite to these parties next time.
How did you get started as a model, and what are some of your most memorable gigs?
So I started actually because a guy on Facebook scouted me. I posted my first thirst trap when I was like 16 years old. It was a shirtless photo. And I had like, I don't know, I did some martial arts, and I just had abs when I was 16. Posted a photo, and then like a lot of gays found me, I guess.
Yeah.
And one of them was in New York. He was a modeling scout, and he just sent me a message. He was like, hey, gorgeous, eggplant emoji. You should come to New York and be a model.
At 16.
Yeah, he reached out to me. The eggplant is a joke, but he said, hey, gorgeous, hey, handsome. And he was like...
I was like, whoa, this is actually like...
No, but he said, hey, you should come to New York. And then we talked for a while. And then when I was 18, I actually went to New York. And I just stayed with him for a week in Harlem. And he basically was my Mr. Miyagi, like my modeling instructor. It was kind of weird, but he was very nice. He was not... I mean, he was a little weird, but he never came on to me or anything. He just made me like literally train. I felt like Karate Kid. It was in my underwear, you know, in Harlem, his apartment, and I would catwalk. He would show me how to catwalk, how to pose with the mirror while I was oiled up and stuff, you know.
Wow.
It doesn't sound that.
Wow.
He taught me. Sounds a little sinister.
And he never,
like it was totally normal.
This when you do modeling, huh?
He never hit on you?
Not really, no.
Wow.
It was just very intense. It was a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely strange, like having a stranger come to you. But he was like my mentor almost, you know. And he introduced me to some modeling agents, and I got signed with my first agency in New York. And then I went to, when I was 19, I guess I went from Berlin to New York for Fashion Week. And then it started. I got scouted. I got signed with other agencies like Milan and Asia and Singapore, and I started traveling all over.
Nice.
Yeah. And the biggest jobs, I guess, I worked a lot with Bloomingdale's, Banana Republic. I did one thing for Tommy Hilfiger in Asia. But yeah, it was never like, I don't know. I also quit modeling pretty quickly.
Was it exhausting?
Yeah, it's just very limiting because you can only be ridiculously good looking. There's not really creatively not as much.
Did you just love Zoolander when it came out? Were you just like, oh my god,
that was my life. It's spot on. It's so spot on.
I can imagine you in that.
Yeah. And creatively, you can't just do. That's why I started YouTube. So I started YouTube when I was modeling because I realized that I wanted to tell stories, and I love creativity and storytelling more than I did love.
Well, you are funny. You have good comedic timing and like an interesting, like not everyone just has that. And not saying that like models don't have that. I'm just saying like that was obviously your thing that made you come alive. And it's
always very silly, you know. Even when I was on, like I made vlogs and stuff, and that's the first YouTube video that blew up was like it was called "What Really Happens at New York Fashion Week," and then I just like interviewed models and just like vlog, and then it was very silly and did like the blue steel and the catwalk, and that blew up. And from there I built a community on YouTube and started making more videos around modeling. Was my niche, so that's how I started YouTube. And I'm very grateful, even though I don't model anymore, I'm very grateful, even though a lot of fucked up shit happened with like sexual assault and all this. It's a very sexualized industry, more so than men than for women, I think, in modeling.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy.
I actually, this guy pops up, and I wish I knew his name, but he talks a lot about it.
Barrett Paul?
Yeah, I think that's
probably
he talks a lot about it. He's like a blonde. Is he kind of blondish?
Kind of, yeah, blonde, blonde.
Yeah, and he talks so much about it. I think he even created maybe an organization or something like that.
He's an activist. Yeah. He does a lot of stuff. Yeah. He just came forward because Abercrombie and Fitch, the thing came out like a couple weeks ago about the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. Oh yeah. He basically hired a guy to recruit young models to invite to these sex parties in the south of France and in the Hamptons, and they would get paid. You know, the recruiter was being paid, and these models, they were not forced to do sexual things, but when it's Abercrombie and Fitch and Bruce Weber is there and all the big photographers, they basically said, hey, you don't have to do anything, but the further you go, the better for your career. Stuff like that, you know? So that just came out a couple of weeks ago. So it's fucked up, and it's a lot of male models because the industry is run by gay men. Yeah. So women at large definitely are much more often the victims of sexual assault and stuff like that. Yeah. But in the modeling industry specifically, I think it's a lot of men. Yeah.
I
think it's important to talk about this. Yeah.
I was following that guy, and he really does seem to be trying to bring awareness. That's actually why you're talking, like, as you're saying this, I'm like, wow, that sounds so similar to what he's been kind of trying to fix.
Absolutely,
so that's good, at least to bring awareness as much as you can.
Yeah, thank you. I think especially as men, because a lot of dudes don't like talking about this.
Of course.
Dave Chappelle had a joke about like men being raped. He was like, in Texas, there was a guy who raped like a bunch of dudes, and 6 guys came out saying that they'd been raped. And when 6 men come out in Texas, you know there must be thousands because that's a tough phone call for us to make. That's what he said in his joke. Because, you know, as men, it's tough to like, you know, even admit that something happened. And a lot of straight dudes think, oh, it makes me gay if something happened with another man, you know. So,
which is not the truth. You know?
Yeah.
So many good messages here. You are very charismatic, and also there's so many good things that you're doing. I mean, you're hilarious, and you are fighting the good fight for equality and freedom with the straights and the gays. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being an honest person.
Oh, thank you.
Of
course. Open book.
It's really
When's your next show coming up? Do you have, who are you on Instagram and on YouTube? Plug.
Mario Adrion, all platforms. And comedy shows, marioadrion.com. I'm going to add more shows. I'm going to start headlining more shows now. I have my show at New York Comedy Festival in November. It's sold out, but
any coming up in LA that I can go to?
Yeah, there's one this Sunday. It's a small club, but yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Those ones are the best ones.
Love it.
And they'll make fun of everybody in there.
Yes, right. It's more intimate. I like small clubs. It's more intimate sometimes. You can look people in the eyes.
I hate it when people bomb though. Like, I feel their pain. Like, not to say that you would, but like that's what I'm scared of. Very like, is if I go to a small club and then somebody's not doing well, I'm like, come on, just laugh anyway.
I try to laugh at every joke just to laugh. Like when I go to things like,
I sit in front of them and be like,
I've never sat there and been like.
A lot of people don't. No, there's a lot of, especially LA is tough, can be tough crowds.
They just want to be mean.
Yeah.
Just laugh anyway. Get it. Oh, so uncomfortable. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Dankeschön. Thank you.
Bye.